probably seen these beads before, right? Maybe as spiritual jewelry. But in Vedic astrology, they're seen as something much, much more. A seriously powerful cosmic tool. Okay, let's jump right in and explore how a simple seed is believed to hold the entire universe in its grasp. It all kicks off with this incredible origin story. I mean, according to ancient texts, these beads are literally Shiva's frozen tears. Just think about that for a second. The idea that a god's compassion for all our struggles could become something real, something we can actually hold in our hands. It's a pretty powerful image, isn't it? And that brings us right to our first section, where we'll look at how these divine tears actually connect with the world we live in. You know, the name itself tells you everything you need to know. Rudraksha literally means the eyes of Rudra, which is another name for Shiva. So we're not just talking about any old seed from a tree here. These are seen as a direct extension of the divine, connected by both legend and name. They come from way up in the Himalayan foothills, and each bead is thought of as more than just something that grew on a tree. It's a tangible piece of this sacred story. But this origin story? That's just the beginning. Let's see how it all builds into a practical system people use to navigate their lives.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. This is how these mythological beads get woven into the really detailed system of Vedic astrology. They're basically seen as cosmic balancers.
In astrology, there's this idea that a lot of life's challenges come from a kind of cosmic imbalance, specifically from the tough influences of certain planets, what they call doshas. And that's exactly where Rudraksha comes in. It's seen as the solution to that very problem. And this just lays it all out perfectly. On the left, you've got these common struggles that are linked to the planets. Saturn bringing delays, Rahu fueling illusions, Ketu causing that spiritual restlessness. But then on the right, you see the promise of Rudraksha to bring relief, to bring clarity, and to bring peace. It's like a direct countermeasure. Now, they're believed to help harmonize all the planets, but they're considered especially powerful for these big players. You've got Saturn, the karmic judge, Rahu and Ketu, the shadow planets that mess with our perceptions, and even the Sun and Jupiter, helping with things like authority and wisdom. Okay, so this all sounds pretty profound, but how does it actually work? I mean, how do you use them? Well, that brings us to the Rudraksha as a practical cosmic toolkit. All right, the one word you really need to know here is mukhi. It's basically the facets or those little vertical lines you see on the surface of the bead. And the number of these facets is incredibly important because each number is believed to vibe with a very specific planet's energy. This table makes it super easy to see. So a 1 mukhi bead is for the Sun, to boost your confidence. A 7 mukhi is for Saturn, helping with that karmic stuff. An 8 mukhi takes on Rahu to cut through illusions. And then you have the really common 5 mukhi bead, which is seen as this great universal harmonizer for pretty much all the planets. So what if you just want some of that general balance? Well, there's a pretty simple ritual for that all-purpose 5 mukhi mala. First, you cleanse the beads. Then, you offer them at a sacred space. Next, you energize them by chanting a mantra. And finally, you start wearing it on a Monday, which is Shiva's day. But listen, this isn't seen as some kind of instant fix. The tradition holds that you really start to feel the full effects of wearing a Rudraksha after about 40 days of consistent practice and devotion. But you know, this whole thing goes so much deeper than just astrology and remedies. A Rudraksha bead is seen as so much more than just an ornament. On the deepest, most profound level, this tiny seed is said to embody the entire cosmic trinity, the 3 big forces that govern the universe. And it all starts with creation, the force that brings everything into existence. Then, of course, you have preservation. This is the force that keeps everything going, that maintains balance and order across the cosmos. And it all culminates in dissolution. This is that force of transformation and renewal, the one that completes the whole eternal cycle of birth, life, and rebirth. All of that packed into one tiny seed. So when you put all of that together, you can see why it's viewed as a seed of, well, salvation. It's believed to align your crown chakra for spiritual liberation, help you tune into your intuition during meditation, dissolve the ego, and even ward off negativity and bring in abundance. It's a tool for the highest spiritual goals you can imagine. All right, so let's pull all these threads together into one final, really powerful idea, the concept of wearing your universe. I just love this line. It so beautifully captures what a Rudraksha mala is all about. Each little bead is like a star, a point of cosmic energy, all strung together in this divine embrace. And really, that's the bottom line here. The core belief is that these seeds act as a bridge. They connect the wild, stormy gales of planetary influences to an inner garden of peace and grace, helping turn all of life's challenges and confusion into real clarity. And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. In a world that's just full of complicated solutions for everything, what if the key to balancing your own personal cosmos could be found in something as simple and yet as profound as a single sacred seed?